Today I'm going to be showing you how to download Escape from Tarkov off the official page. At the moment, you can't purchase it on Steam until November 15th on the official release of 1.0. So all you need to do is type in Escape from Tarkov on your Google browser, and you come up against this escapefromtarkov.com. So if we go to there, I'll show you the different variations of the game as well. I'll show you the extensions, all that sort of stuff. So up here, we can see the English. It obviously, you can pick your language, and the launcher here. If you click on launcher, it'll start downloading the BSG launcher, which I don't want to install because I already have it. But that's how you install the launcher so you can play the game. Now, if you come over to purchase, this will allow you to purchase the game. Everything you see here is in USD. So this 195 USD to Australian would probably be like $320 Australian, give or take. Depends what the currency is doing at the moment. So the main differences is the stash space. So the standard edition comes with a 10x30. So that's just how many items you can hold in your stash. It's not on your character. It's just a side thing. So when you're storing items and you want to keep, that's the area that you get. So it's a 30x10. And in game you can upgrade your stash space, but it does take a lot of time inside your hideout. So it does benefit having a bigger stash, but it's not necessary. Also, the container size. This container is a in-game item. So when you are looting things in-game, you can stash these in that container in your inventory, and you can't lose them even if you die. You always have them, and you always come out with them. So the standard edition is $42.50 USD. At the moment, they're on sale until the 18th, and this video is being released on the 15th of the 10th. So the main difference with these two editions is you get an extra 10 slots in your inventory, which it's not massive, but it does help, especially if you like hoarding items in games. So it definitely does help. The prepare for escape, the difference is, again, you get an additional 10 slots of your stash size, and you get increased standing with all traders in game. So what that means is, when you're starting up, all your traders aren't going to be at 0.00. You're going to have a little bit of leeway. So when you're leveling them up, you can level them up a little bit quicker because you've already started with them leveled up. And the Unheard edition, which is a lot more. This is an extra $100 USD. You get the maximum stash size, which is a 10x72. The maximum secure container size, which is a 3x3, which makes a massive difference. I don't know if it's a $100 difference, but it could be to someone. You get increased standing with all traders, which you also get with this edition. But we get a lot more. So you also get the Season Pass and access to future Escape from Tarkov DLCs. So you don't have to pay for anything else. This is an all-in-one. That's a massive benefit. This here doesn't matter. Access to cooperative PvE zone mode without wipes. So what this means is there's two game modes. There's player versus enemy, which is PvE, and player versus player, PvP. If you don't get this edition, and we're going to go over it in a second, I will go to the other page, you have to buy this separately. And access to practice cooperative mode. That means you can practice raid without losing any of your items. Access to early testing servers, that's optional if you want to have access to early testing servers. The hideout cultist circle, it just means this is automatically unlocked upon any wipe. You don't have to build it, because when you were building it, it does take a lot of material and time to build this. You get, this is cosmetic, so this is your dog tags. When players kill you, or in your inventory, you'll see your dog tag. It just has a little bit more texture. It's a different color. It's just something you get with this edition. So that's just aesthetics. There's nothing crazy about that. The background screen, that's just a aesthetic as well. So when you load in, you have a different screen than everyone else has. Unique in-game melee weapons. That's, again, it's just like a skin. Doesn't really matter. It does to some people, not me. The apparel, that's just cosmetic. That's just a t-shirt and pants. Armband is cosmetic again. Mark of the Unheard. This is all cosmetic. So expanded PMC pockets, which means instead of having 4 pockets, like everyone else would have if you've got any of these 3 editions, you get 6. Which doesn't sound like a big difference, but it does make a fair bit of difference when you're in-game. But you can also unlock these pockets from a mission inside the game. So it's whether you want them all the time, or when you wipe, you have to work and progress towards them. And increased mail storage duration. So when you die and you have insurance on items, it can take 24 hours before you get them items back. And once you receive them, I can't remember how long you have, but say, for example, you get 4 days if you have these editions. But if you have this edition, it'll hold it in the storage for about 7 days or 8 days. So it just gives you a little bit of extended time. This is the edition I have, and to me, it's worth it for the price. Even though it's an extra $100, it is definitely worth it to me. And especially now since it's 22% off, because it's usually $250 USD. So if you purchase any of the first 3, so the 42, the 69, or the 93, I'll show you the other things it's optional to purchase, or you can buy this and get everything. So now that we've done that, let's go to the expansions and upgrades. Let's go PvE. So if you don't buy the Unheard edition for $250 USD, you also have to, if you want to play PvE, you have to buy this for an additional, it's usually $30 USD. Then if you want to do an optional stash upgrade, it's $2.55, or we'll just go off this price, $3 USD, and that adds from 2 to 56 slots of inventory. You can buy this, I think, let's have a look. I have to log in. I think you can buy like $80 USD worth of these, and then it caps out your inventory space. So stash upgrade plus 2 special lines. So those 2 special lines are going to give you, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a decent amount of space. It lets you hold a fair few more items. So that's optional as well. The apparel, this is all the cosmetic skins. You can come in here, and these are $12 each, usually $14. This one's $5. They all mean different things. $12, $7, but again, it's all cosmetic based. Let's go back. The arena is the new Tarkov arena. It's sort of like Call of Duty. You go in and you do a 5-player versus 5-player. You can do like search and destroy. You can do free for all. You can do capture the flag. And this here is going to set you back an additional 35 USD if you don't buy the edition or Unheard edition. So you got to pay another 35. So it starts adding up pretty quick. If we go to Escape from Tarkov, you can get promo codes every now and then, but it's extremely rare to do so. You're better off just waiting for it to come on sale like this at the moment, where these are 15% off, 15, 22. So, and they've also got a upgrading feature. So if you purchase Left Behind for $69.70, you can later on upgrade to Unheard, and they take the price of Left Behind off this overall price. So this here will be reduced by $69.70. So you can upgrade without having to repay for another mode. And same for this one. You can pay $42.50 for the standard edition, and then later on upgrade to the $69.70 edition, which is Left Behind, and it will take the $42 off this overall cost of $69. If that makes sense. So this is $50, this is $82, and they take the $50 off the $82, and that's all you have to pay to upgrade. And you can do that the entire way up the chain. You can also buy as gifts for friends. It's a very expensive gift. On the overall setup of the site, they give you the updates, they give you the latest news about everything. They obviously advertise Unheard, all the expansions, Arena. What else we got? We got locations. We'll go into there. They don't really show too much. But this is pretty much the only time you ever want to come here is if you're purchasing the game or expansions and upgrades. Other than that, I'll show you the BSG launcher. Let me switch this. So once you do complete the game, complete the BSG launcher, this is what it will look like. You have your updates here and the stuff that they reveal, like the 1.0 release. You have the game version, the game edition, and the servers are live just to show you that everything's working as it should. What you want to do is, for example, Arena. If you come into here, it'll say Game Edition European. When you go into the game, you can go into settings and specifically set it to your area. So if you live in Australia, you set it to OCE. If you live in Europe, you set it to Europe, etc. Escape from Tarkov also, when you're playing the PvE or PvP, has region here. So what you want to do is before you load in, change the region. And you have all these regions here. I have it on Australia, OCE. You have the ping here. So the lowest ping is going to be your region. So I technically could also put New Zealand, which will give me 87. Although I just want Australia with 45. You might have something different. You might have Africa, and your ping is not going to be 469. It might be like 20. So what you want to do is set that beforehand, click apply, and then that's when you want to play. Also in this section, you can see your downloads, the arena, you can see the news. They give you all the latest news. ETS, this is the early testing servers, and you can apply for them. It gives you a little rundown how to apply for them. The forums, which sends you to Escape from Tarkov forums. I won't show that, but it's there. And expansions, when you click expansions, that will just take you back to the website where you can purchase expansions and upgrades and stuff like that. So that's how you download and install Escape from Tarkov in 2025. So thank you for watching, and feel free to subscribe.